Julian Koepcke, the girl who survived a plane crash. Julian Koepcke was born on October 10, 1954, in Lima, Peru. She was the daughter of German parents who worked as scientists. Her father was a zoologist and her mother was a biologist. They studied animals and plants in the jungle. Juliane grew up in both Germany and Peru, and she loved nature. In 1971, Juliane was 17 years old. Her parents worked in a remote part of the Amazon rainforest, and she wanted to visit them for Christmas. To do this, she needed to fly from Lima to Pucallpa, which is a small city near the rainforest. She had just graduated from high school before the flight. The plane crash. On December 24, 1971, Juliane and her mother boarded a plane that was called Lanza Flight 508. There were 92 people on the flight, including passengers and crew. At first, the flight was smooth, and everyone was happy. After about 30 minutes, the plane entered a storm. The weather became very bad. Lightning hit the plane, and it started to break apart in the air. It was about 3,000 meters, 10,000 feet above the ground. Juliane was still in her seat when the plane fell from the sky. Miraculously, Juliane survived the fall. Her seat spun through the air and landed in the rainforest. She was the only person who survived. Everyone else died in the crash, alone in the jungle. When Juliane woke up, she was on the forest floor. She was hurt but alive. She had a broken collarbone, a cut on her arm, and a swollen eye. Juliane also lost her glasses and one shoe. She had no food or water, only a small bag of candy. Juliane knew a lot about the jungle because of her parents. They had taught her about animals, plants, and survival. She remembered that streams in the forest lead to larger rivers, and people often live near rivers. Juliane decided to follow a stream. She walked through the jungle, even though it was dangerous. There were snakes, spiders, and other wild animals. She also had to deal with hunger, heat, and rain. Survival. Juliane walked for 10 days. She ate only the candy that she had and drank water from the stream. Her injuries became infected, and she was very weak. Still, she kept going. On the 10th day, Juliane found a small boat on the riverbank. Nearby there was a hut. This meant that people were close. She waited for the owners to return. When they came, they were surprised to see her. The people took care of Juliane and treated her injuries. They took her to a village and then to a hospital. After that, Juliane was taken to her father. Life after the crash. Juliane became famous as the girl who fell from the sky. People all over the world wanted to hear her story. She moved back to Germany and studied biology, like her parents. Later, Juliane returned to Peru to study animals in the rainforest. She wrote a book about her survival experience. It is called When I Fell from the Sky. It is a story of survival and hope. Today, Juliane Koepcke is remembered as a brave and strong woman. Her story inspires people to never give up, even in the hardest situations.